Long before Angkor Wat rose from the jungle, before stone towers defined Cambodia in the imagination of the world, this land was already alive with rhythm, belief, and memory. But there is a question most people never think to ask. What came before Angkor? The answer is buried in a forest. Hidden not by myth, but by time itself. Shaped by the Mekong River and the vast, breathing waters of Tonle Sap Lake, Cambodia became a place where seasons governed life and time itself felt circular rather than fixed. Each year, floodwaters transformed plains into fertile ground, sustaining rice, communities, and the earliest foundations of civilization in Southeast Asia. Here, long before empires claimed the sky with stone, people learned how to live in balance with water, forest, and sky. Trade routes carried ideas across Asia. Scripts, religions, and artistic traditions arrived not as replacements, but as threads woven into something uniquely Khmer. This slow forming of identity gave birth to early societies like Funan and later Chenla. Not strictly bordered nations, but mandala states, shifting networks of localized power, alliances, and shared cultural meaning. And it was during this quiet, formative age that Cambodia's first great capital emerged. Deep within the forests of what is now Kampong Tom province lies Sambor Prei Kuk. The name translates as the temple in the richness of the forest. And the first time you see it, you understand why. These temples do not dominate the landscape the way Angkor does. They emerge from it. Brick towers stand among ancient trees. Roots curl around walls like slow, patient hands. Birds fill the silence, and the atmosphere feels older than memory. This place has a name most of the world has never heard. Its ancient name was Isanapura. And for a period of history that has been almost completely forgotten, this was the most important city in Southeast Asia. The king most closely associated with Isanapura is Yasovarman I, who ruled from approximately 616 to 637 CE. He united competing factions and shaped this city into an unrivaled royal and religious center, a capital, a throne, a sacred heart. What remains today is not one temple, but a vast sacred landscape, more than 100 temples spread across the forest. Some are small and weathered, barely visible beneath moss and shadow. Others still stand tall enough to feel as though they are watching you. But there is something here that stops even experienced archaeologists in their tracks. 10 octagonal temples. Nowhere else in early Southeast Asian architecture do you find this. Octagonal towers, unusual, almost experimental, like architecture searching for a new language. Why octagons? Square towers are the standard. They are stable, symbolic. They align easily with cardinal directions. But octagons are something else entirely. One grounded explanation is that early Khmer builders were experimenting with form during a period when sacred architecture was still evolving, testing ideas, pushing boundaries, but there is another way to see them. Across many traditions and cultures, from early Christian baptisteries to Islamic geometry to Buddhist cosmology, the octagon appears at the boundary between worlds, between the square of earth and the circle of heaven. It represents transition, passage, the threshold between the human world and the sacred. We cannot prove the builders of Sambor Prei Kuk intended this meaning. But when you stand before one of these brick towers in the silence of the forest, it is almost impossible not to feel it. You are standing at a threshold, and Sambor Prei Kuk is full of thresholds. This was a Shiva-centered sacred landscape. Many shrines were dedicated to Shiva, connected to rituals involving lingams and yonis, symbols of creation, cosmic energy, and renewal. This city was not only a political center, it was a spiritual engine designed to align the lives of its people with the forces of the cosmos. And the art here is not a rough draft of something greater. It is a masterpiece in its own right. The decorative style developed at Sambor Prei Kuk, now known among scholars by that very name, paired brick architecture with finely carved sandstone elements, lintels, pediments, colonnades, all displaying a level of refinement that feels almost impossible for a civilization this early. This is the hidden truth of Sambor Prei Kuk. The artistic language developed here, the proportions, the symbolism, the spatial logic, became the blueprint that spread across the entire region. It laid the foundation for the Khmer style that would later define Angkor itself. Sambor Prei Kuk is not a footnote. It is the first chapter. As you move through the forest, even without signs or guides, you begin to sense organization. Walled enclosures, sacred centers, pathways connecting shrine to shrine, reservoirs and ponds that speak of water management, ritual cleansing, and urban planning centuries before most of the world knew such things were possible here. And then there is the engineering. These towers are built of brick in a tropical climate, with relentless heat, monsoon rains, and humidity that devours most materials within decades. And yet these structures have stood for more than 1,000 years. How? The answer is not concrete, not metal, not stone. The answer is organic chemistry. Early Khmer builders didn't use thick mortar. Instead, they rubbed bricks together until surfaces fit with almost invisible precision. Then they bound them with a microscopic layer of plant-based resin, mixed with palm sugar and tamarind. An organic adhesive so chemically refined, so structurally sound, that it has outlasted empires. That is not primitive. That is genius. And it reflects something deeper about this place. This was not a civilization building for one generation. They were building for eternity. The forest makes Sambor Prei Kuk feel different from any other ancient site. Unlike Angkor Wat, where monuments overwhelm the landscape and the visitor, Sambor Prei Kuk shares the stage with nature. Trees do not simply surround these temples, they interact with them. Roots wrap walls like living hands. Canopies filter light into soft golden beams. Brick glows warm in the afternoon sun in a way that stone never quite does. Angkor can feel grand, imperial, almost overwhelming. Sambor Prei Kuk feels intimate, ancient, quiet, like a secret the forest has been keeping for 1,000 years and is only now beginning to share. And yet this place remains largely unvisited, largely unknown. That matters, because this is not just another temple. This is an origin story, a place that answers the question Angkor Wat raises but cannot answer itself. Angkor was the flowering. Sambor Prei Kuk was the root. There is a reason UNESCO recognized this site as a World Heritage location. Not only for its beauty, but for what it represents. The true historical foundation of Khmer civilization. The beginning of a cultural tradition that would go on to produce one of the greatest architectural achievements in human history. Even in ruins, Sambor Prei Kuk continues to do what sacred places have always done. It slows you down. It invites listening. It pulls your attention away from noise and back toward what is real. If you stand here long enough, you begin to feel something that doesn't fit neatly into textbooks. The sense that civilizations are not built only with power and labor, but with meaning, with shared belief, with spaces designed to help people gather their lives into a single story. Sambor Prei Kuk feels like where that story began, a city in the forest, an ancient capital, a hidden foundation beneath Angkor's glory, and a reminder that the greatest histories are often the ones we haven't found yet. And if this journey into Cambodia's deeper past stirred something in you, if it made you wonder how civilizations truly begin and how sacred knowledge can live inside architecture for 1,000 years, then I invite you to stay connected. Like this video, subscribe to Ancient Origins, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next mystery we explore. Every week, we uncover another chapter of humanity's forgotten story, carved in stone, buried in earth, or written in the stars. If you're drawn to places like this, you belong here. Thank you for watching. And until our next discovery, stay curious.